U-boats were German submarines from the First and Second World War. They were mainly used for offensive operations against the Allied forces. The U-boats operated using stealth tactics and were designed to penetrate enemy shipping defenses. They were also able to launch torpedoes and other weapons from underwater. The first U-boat was commissioned in 1906, and the first successful attack on an enemy vessel was made by the U-35 in 1915. U-boats were heavily used by the Germans during both World Wars, and were responsible for sinking numerous Allied vessels. During the Second World War, U-boats were used in a number of covert operations, such as disrupting supply chains and laying mines in strategic locations. The U-boat was a key factor in the success of the German naval strategy during the Second World War. U-boats had a risky but effective design. They were made of thick steel and were able to stay underwater for extended periods of time. U-boats had a range of different weapons, such as torpedoes, mines, deck guns, and anti-aircraft guns. U-boats were also equipped with a variety of technological innovations, such as an air-independent propulsion system and a snorkel, which allowed them to remain undetected. U-boats could dive to depths of up to 500 m and remain submerged for weeks, making them difficult to detect by radar. U-boats were used alongside submarines and submersibles to create a complex network of underwater combat forces. Submersibles were small vessels that could submerge and move around underwater without a crew. Unlike submarines, submersibles had no propulsion system and were non-combat vessels used for scientific and exploration purposes. Submarines were larger vessels than U-boats and were capable of operating as depth-charge boats. Submarines were also equipped with a range of weapons, including torpedoes, mines, and anti-aircraft guns. Submarines could dive to much greater depths than U-boats, reaching depths of up to 1,000 m. Submarines had a full-time crew and their operation was a much more complex process than that of U-boats. Submarines also had a longer range than U-boats and could remain underwater for weeks at a time. Both submarines and U-boats were capable of carrying out secret missions, such as laying mines or disrupting enemy supply lines. Both submarines and U-boats could deploy a variety of weapons, including torpedoes, mines, and deck guns. U-boats were designed to be much stealthier than submarines, and were often used in guerrilla warfare tactics against the Allied forces. Submersibles could dive to greater depths than both U-boats and submarines and were often used for scientific research. U-boats, submarines, and submersibles played a vital role in the naval warfare of the two world wars. U-boats were used by Germany to disrupt Allied shipping and supply lines during both wars. Submarines were also used to deliver a range of weapons and supplies to enemy targets.